Downtown San Diego Partnership members. I'm Betsy Brennan, President and CEO of the Downtown San Diego Partnership. Thank you for joining us for our next episode of Convos Over Coffee, where we get to know DSDP members from a variety of industries, how they're adapting, and what excites them about the future of downtown San Diego. Today, we are chatting with Rip Rippetoe, President and CEO of the San Diego Convention Center. He is a certified venue executive and a convention and meeting industry veteran. Rip has worked for organizations hosting top national trade shows and conventions, including the Olympic Winter Games of 2002, and large-scale public assembly facilities such as the Las Vegas Convention Center, the Salt Palace Convention Center in Salt Lake City, and the Kentucky Expo Center. Rip currently serves as the chair of the International Association for Venue Managers Board of Directors. Hi, Rip, and welcome to Convos Over Coffee.
Thanks, Betsy. It's great to be here.
It's really nice to see you and see the convention center behind you.
Yeah, I love this background. It's so representative of who we are as our inclusive nature about being able to take care of everyone and host every kind of event we can think of. And from our point of view, all means all. So I love this background. It's my favorite.
And the sails are lit up. And I'm sure we're going to get a little bit into that during today's conversation.
Sure.
So how are you doing and adjusting personally through all this? Anything fun or activities that you've been leaning on?
You know, it's been really interesting. I've worked from home quite a bit and been in the office some. And, you know, for me personally, it's been a higher level of anxiety than I really thought it would be. And, you know, my heart breaks for all of the people, whether they're working with us or, you know, I don't know, hundreds of other businesses here in the region that have had to lay people off. And my heart breaks for everyone who's been impacted. And so, yeah, I certainly feel it. And we've set up an office that Leah, my wife, and I share here at home. I think asking her that question would probably be more revealing than me. I have no problem sharing an office. I'm not sure about her.
I know that feeling as well. So what about the convention center? Tell us the impacts and what's been going on there since March.
Well, we've lost over 100 shows, over 700,000 attendees that would have been in town. Close to $1 billion in regional economic impact just from the shows that would have been hosted here at the San Diego Convention Center. So it's been a huge impact to what we normally do. In a normal time, we are an economic engine. It's our job to be, and similar to what you do and others, it's economic development. It's all about what we can do to help create jobs, help find ways of building the tax coffers so that the city can build and create essential services and provide those for everyone. And then even on top of that, it's literally thousands of jobs that are impacted because these shows aren't able to occur right now.
Yeah, you are definitely an essential part of the region, and we miss having your employees there and your shows happening and all the economic development and cultural vitality that you bring to downtown and to the whole region.
Oh,
so
thanks.
what have you done? How have you pivoted at the convention center? You have 1,200 guests there with you. Can you tell us a little bit about what that's all about?
Sure. It's long term, and ironically, there's a lot of great benefits of being able to pivot to operating as one of the country's largest homeless shelters in this era. But what we've been able to do is one, we've been able to help take care of our city's most vulnerable population, or one of the most vulnerable at least, and be able to find ways of housing them. We're proud of our little contribution that we make in being able to host. And ironically, it's been a way for us to be able to say to officials and others that we're hosting a gathering of over 1,000 people 24 hours a day, going on 8 months now. And we have learned so much about protocols and safety and how to function in an infection control world. And we often compare notes with our friends at the airport and other big venues around town. And given what we've been having to do, it has been a great education so that it allowed us to help write better guidelines for safe reopening for later. So not how we wanted to pivot or the experience any of us wanted to have, but there are some takeaways that are going to help us in the future.
That's really interesting. I mean, you are the national model or international model for how to do things safely and socially distanced. And that's really interesting. I hope the state of California and the US look to you and everything you've learned to help us as we move forward.
Well, thank
Speaking
you.
of moving forward, what's your perspective on where we're going as a region and where you're going as a convention center?
I think we are going to see a new trend line that occurs when it comes to how efficient we are as companies and how we take that efficient way of bringing people in remotely to help us do our work. I see technology being even more important than ever before, and there are a lot of others in the technology business that can probably shed a lot more light on that, but I really think we're going to be seeing a bit of a revolution, I'll call it. We had the Industrial Revolution 300 years ago that made such a huge impact. We had another industrial revolution that occurred, over 100 years ago when electricity became common and when we had the ability to, figure out how to use automobiles and trucks and transportation. And then another industry revolution with mass transit and dealing with the kind of places like us and others who need to rely on the ability to get people around. And now I think we're going to be seeing another form of that in the form of technology, where we have the ability to remote people in ways that we never had before and be able to do business internationally more effectively. So I think there's some lessons to take away from that. Now, that being said, in our industry, and there's study after study that shows this, people still innately want to get together and network. I call it kicking the tires. The reason that conventions and trade shows happen are really threefold. One is that you want to be able to provide the kind of education for the professional certifications that are required. Doctors, architects, lawyers, all of them have requirements to go and get continuing education. And so those kinds of conferences will always have a need. They've demonstrated that some of that's going to be able to be functional virtually now. And so I'll come back to that in a minute. The second thing is actually that face-to-face networking and mentoring so that you can learn your craft and your profession, to be able to be innovative and excel at what you do and be able to contribute. And the third one is it's a chance for all the new innovative products to be introduced and really get in there and look and put your hands on it and see that, experience it. And that's what I call kicking the tires. Now, we foresee that we're going to be in a hybrid situation with a lot of shows in the near future and probably for a long time. And I actually see that as an opportunity for associations. You can grow your membership if you can grow your exposure, and people have been reluctant to do that with technology. Now they could have the best of both worlds, those who can get to a destination to kick the tires, plus being able to find a way of doing online learning, much like many of our universities have done for years, to be able to create a better, consistent educational platform for your members worldwide. So if you demonstrate that member value like you do every day, it's going to be a way for associations to extend their reach worldwide.
Well, I'm glad you have that hope and enthusiasm and focus on where we're going to go in the future. And I agree with you. There's definitely a place for hybrid events and for technology to enhance what we've already been doing and maybe move us forward much more quickly than we originally had envisioned. So now I get into kind of fun questions. I want to know, what do you most look forward to in downtown? What's your favorite lunch spot or your hot spot, or what do you miss?
I love walking the Embarcadero and even Seaport Village. I like going to Edgewater Grill for breakfast on occasion. We enjoy so many things along Gas Lamp area and the restaurants and the attractions. Being able to go in and sit down and be with friends and have a great meal and be able to share that experience without fear of, is my server or am I, positive that day, and do I need to worry about that in some way? So I'm really looking forward to that. I love the vibe downtown. I love working there. I get to drive downtown and I get to go to lots of places for meetings. Sometimes we're over at your office. We get to go to the EDC, Tourism Authority, City Hall, the county, the port, and everything in between. But my favorite is just the vibe and being able to really enjoy having a cup of coffee sitting out on a patio and watching the people walk by. And I haven't done that, and I miss that.
Yeah, we miss it too. I mean, we can't wait for you to get back rolling somewhat because there's so much as you're talking about with the Embarcadero and Seaport and new restaurants and coffee shops that are coming online, and then some of our favorites. And I can't wait to sit down and have a meal with you at one of those, one of our favorite restaurants or establishments.
Well, our
And
first
yeah,
thing may not be a meal. It might
yeah,
be a libation or two.
yeah, I think so. And that's my final fun question.
Oh,
We have our
okay.
coffee cups with us today, but what do you wish was in your coffee cup from somewhere downtown? What's your favorite beverage down here?
Oh boy. Well, I love the craft beer scene, and so I would love to be able to. And my coffee mug's not big enough, but I'd love to get some more good craft beer and sit and just chat. And I'd been introduced to the new distillery scene right before this, and it's really amazing to me how people have been able to put up distilleries. And then how amazing is it that so many of them have been able to pivot and turn their business into hand sanitizer and other ways of providing healthcare. And I just I'm in awe of people who are that entrepreneurial. And so I like being able to go to a place and just sit down and have a really nice glass of port, and I'm a happy camper.
That sounds good. We'll have to hit up the Mission Brewery or Carl Strauss or Duckfoot or You and Yours Distillery just as
Oh
soon
yeah.
as we are able. And
You and yours, that's nice. Yeah, I look forward to that.
well, thank you so much, Rip, for your time today and participating, and also your dedication to the convention center and to the vibrancy of downtown San Diego. If you would like to reach Rip, you can find his contact information in the email for this video. We look forward to seeing you all next time as we have a convo over coffee with another one of the Downtown Partnership's members. Until then, stay safe, stay strong, and thank you for your commitment to our organization and the economic prosperity and culture of vitality of downtown.